So, my friend, my Brooklyn friend, Rose, welcome to the Jersey Buzz.
I'm so excited to be here. I've been meaning to come visit you, and now you invited me, so I'm doing both.
I know. I love it. We always have good conversations.
Yes.
And I wanted to bring you into the show today because, first of all, you're an entrepreneur, and I've known you since Heightstown. What was the name of your boutique again?
A bit of NYC.
Yes, and then we had Joanne, yo girl Joanne, the Chocolate Lover Club.
Yeah.
She's in Florida living the life now. So we bonded immediately, of course, because you're from Brooklyn, because I love Brooklyn people.
It's been, 20 years or more?
I know.
I think
wow.
it's been more than 20 years.
That's a long time. And when we met, I don't know, we bonded, and then you've gone on over the years, both of us, doing this, doing that. We're always checking in periodically. I love it. But what I love about the story is that from Brooklyn, but you didn't originate from Brooklyn. You're from Italy. You're technically an American, immigrant that came to this country. Tell us your story. It's a great one.
So I always feel like I got the best of both worlds because I came here, I was 11 years old. My dad immigrated here in 1974. It took him 2 years to get the paperwork ready to get us here. And it took him about 8 years before he was able to come with to get the paperwork ready. So it's a long process, but I was really happy to be back reunited with my dad. I could see my mom, she wasn't happy, she was away from him. So I was 11 years old, and the first thing obviously was, how happy and thrilled I was to be with my dad, back the whole family together.
And I just got the chills. So for was it 7 years?
So my dad started the paperwork in I believe it was like 1967.
Okay.
And then he didn't get the call to come, for the interview till 1974.
Wow.
And then they gave him the green card, and then he had to get paperwork ready to get us here. And
so he
it
came
took
to
us 2 years. Yeah, he was here 2 years before
Okay.
us.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, your mom was probably said they're tight.
Yeah, they've been married 61 years.
Ah,
It'll be 62 this
they're so
year.
cute. I swear, I have no
Yeah.
idea what your mom's
Yeah,
saying,
thank
but
God.
she just smiles, and I'm like, you're so cute.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're really, thank God,
Yeah, your
they've
dad's
been a great influence on us and great role models for us. So that's why it's so hard to find love, because you see your parents. I mean, don't get me wrong, they have their arguments and stuff, but when you see the love after all these years, it's great that they still have it.
he's like this. Okay, I don't know. Okay, good. So
I think it's moving, that's why.
is that good? Oh, I think it is moving.
Maybe it's loose.
Oh, help. There. You know what? It's slowly.
It's good.
Boo. Are we good?
I guess you could cut some things out, right?
Yes, we can cut things
Good.
out. So, speaking of your parents, so your dad, he's a tailor?
Yes, so he came here, he got a job as a tailor in a tailor shop, and after 2 years, that we came here, so in 1978, he opened up a tailor shop and dry cleaning, and over the years he added a boutique, and he was in business for 35 years in Bensonhurst, the heart of Brooklyn, where all Italians were at the time. So believe it or not, we've been in this country almost 50 years, 49 years, and they still don't speak much English. They get by, they can understand, but to have a whole conversation.
Yeah, I know. Well, Andrew's grandmother's from England, and she will not get rid of her English accent, which I like it. It's pretty cool.
So in a way, it's great because over the years, I never lost that sense of, the language, speaking it. I could write it, I can read it, and it's awesome.
The culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, most people in Europe speak more than one language.
Yeah.
And Americans speak English.
It's a whole different. I mean, I watched a show on Netflix last night about this young woman who bought a villa, and I'm like, oh my God, that's my dream. Live 6 months in Italy and 6 months here.
Well, knowing you'll make it happen when the timing's right, because that's
Yeah.
kind of what you do. Speaking of, so you come to this country, your father's an entrepreneur, which says a lot for you. Literally watched an entrepreneurial spirit as growing up. And then you had your shop and everything, but you've done a lot of things. What most people, they just sit in the day-to-day. They sit in a job they can't stand. I used to cry in the bathroom at some of mine. I was like, oh, get me out of here. But it was like a stepping stone. But some people don't even know to get out of it. I knew that I could make it. Mm-hmm. What gives you courage or grit, or what makes you bet on yourself?
I get bored, so I have to do different things. Otherwise, I just don't function. If I'm not happy doing what I'm doing, I just don't want to do it. So I either, if I know I'm going to do, if I take on a responsibility, I do it. If I know I'm going to do it 120%. Otherwise, I'm not going to try at all. And of course, we all try, and things don't always, pan out. So, but you know what? It is a stepping stone, and you do learn, and okay, I tried this. Let's move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
I've always been like that. Even when I think back, even as a young girl, like I want to do everything. And plus, I'm a Sagittarius. If you believe in the zodiac sign, so
I sure do.
We want to do everything. We want to try everything.
Oh,
I want to travel everywhere. So I try and fulfill what my needs are, which is to always keep busy and
try different things. Well, I know. So you had a boutique, but you also are you Reiki practitioner?
Yes, I became a Reiki practitioner. Not so much to do Reiki as a career,
right?
But I find that, and I read about it, and one of my friends who's a holistic healer, we were talking about how I have a hard time meditating. I cannot shut my brain. My brain is always on and on and on and on. I dream weird dreams because it's just I have an active brain. And I tried meditation, never could shut my brain completely. So someone told me Reiki, a friend of mine told me Reiki can help you. And believe it or not, when I do Reiki on someone, I completely shut my brain. It's really very therapeutic for me. And I love doing it, and I love the results when, my friends and family tell me, oh my God, I just feel like I came back from like a weekend getaway. I feel so relaxed. Because Reiki does help, and if people, if you know about Reiki and you believe in it, it's really a great thing. So I do that mostly for myself, but I love to do it for my friends and family. Which
nice.
is
I'll
very
take
helpful.
you up on that one.
Yeah.
Well, just, this is interesting because I listen to a lot of podcasts, and part of the reason why I'm starting mine is to have these conversations. So people are like, wow, that's me too. Yeah. Your brain will never stop talking, but it takes practice. So basically you're saying Reiki's a tool. Yeah. Learning your chakras, learning how to breathe. It's the breath really, and focusing on different things so you can get quiet, because at the end of the day, we're all one big ball of energy. Yep. Right? And your chakras are all these different points in your body that have different functions.
Yeah. And if they're not aligned and open, then that's where you get, all the clutter.
It's a legit thing. It caused body pains, the whole thing. It's important to know that stuff.
And plus I was in the spa industry for like 10 years of my life, and I really liked that industry. So I learned a lot from being in that environment.
Around it, yeah.
It's great. But
so what are you doing now? You're like Miss Octopus chick.
So I have a small company. It's a concierge service company. It's called the Jogging Octopus. My ex-boyfriend, who's a creative director, came up with that name because he said you like to do a lot of stuff. So
it's perfect.
And I liked it. And it's been working for me. So basically, I help busy people get things done. So whatever people need help with, for example, if you ever need someone to do a job as well as you do it, and you just don't have the time. So if you ever say, like, I need a clone of me, that's when people hire me, whether it's project management, if they're moving, they need to reorganize, they need whatever. And I also do meal preps. I have a couple of clients that are seniors, and I started doing that during COVID. And I kind of kept those clients because they really appreciate it. I love cooking too. So, like I said, it keeps me busy, doesn't get me bored.
So you make the meals, like you make your own sauce and everything?
Yes, I make everything from scratch. I usually I only have 2 clients left because they're seniors. I started doing that during COVID, like I said, and at one time I had like 7 clients in 1 week. I've lost 2 clients, and I get attached to them, so it was really hard for me. Yeah. So I'm down to 2 right now. You know, I take other projects. I also host 1 night a week at the Ristorante Luca in Bordentown, which I love. I love the environment. I love
that's your
the
vibe.
Atmosphere. Yeah,
I know. And we'll give Luca a shout out. Yeah. They're doing a big add-on addition to that as well.
Yes, so they have the wine dinners once a month. They have ladies' night once a month, and also they just added DJ Friday and Saturday night after hours. Oh. I think they're calling it after dark or after hours. I'm not sure because they just added that on. So yeah, it's a fun place to
yeah,
work.
it's real. You know, honestly, it's very New York.
Yeah.
And you go in there, but the food's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, they go and they definitely do it right.
Well, Maurizio is a world-renowned chef. Oh. He's also the judge at the tiramisu contest in Italy once a year. No way. He's one of the judges there, yeah. So the tiramisu is really unbelievable.
Which is crazy. That's in Bordentown, New Jersey. Yeah. Like, you have this famous chef who, you know.
But why not? I mean, look,
I love it.
Like, you would have to go to New York City or Philadelphia to get that kind of vibe and, you know, like fine dining with free entertainment. So now you don't have to do that, and people love it. I mean, I hear all the time. It goes, you know, it's great. But we also get people who come from like an hour away. Yeah. And when they come back, because they don't want to drive and they want to drink, they'll get a hotel up the street and they'll
that's cool.
They'll spend the night.
So they're like a destination kind of now.
It is an experience. I mean, it's really a fun place to work and dine. Yeah. When I have the chance, I like to, like, I'm not working today. I'm just going to come and have a nice dinner and listen.
I came for ladies' night.
Yeah.
I was there. That was fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Is it still prefix?
Yes, well, they have a ladies' night menu for cocktails and appetizers.
Yeah, we got this, and I mean, it was wonderful.
Yeah, my friends come all the time, and most of the time I'm working because we're so busy. I always, you know, end up working a few hours, but it's a lot of fun. Yeah, you have to come back.
I know. Well, you know, it's funny because like it's just. I mean, you do have to dress up. You know, when you go there, it's not like, you know, I'm usually like in jeans.
Not like you don't have to wear a gown, but you could wear jeans and a nice top. You know, they just don't want ripped jeans or anything with offensive language.
Yeah, so that makes sense. Yeah. Well, because, you know, when they first opened, they had some rules and everything. That was like, but, you know, that was great PR. Yeah. I just have to say.
But it's fun. I like it.
It's changed. No, we went in there. It's great. It's a great vibe. And, you know, as we're wrapping up, what is like some advice you could give to somebody, the younger version of you, to like, what's some entrepreneurial spirit advice?
So I was very shy when I was young. Like, people would ask me my name and I would put my face down and I wouldn't want to, I was just very, very shy. As a matter of fact, when I was in high school, I was in a fashion show, and there was a scouting agency for modeling, and they approached my parents to, you know, if they would be interested in. And my parents asked me, and I'm like, no. And I almost started crying, like I didn't want them to like want me to do it. And I was
freaking out.
And I'm like, that was stupid.
I know.
So I mean, I tell young girls, I'm always working with younger girls, and I always tell them, don't be shy. You know, speak your mind. Life is too short. Like, don't wait. Because, you know, like, I see how fast time flies. And I'm like, oh, my God. You know?
I know. It's true. It does
fly. But, yeah. And I always I like to work and find new things. Like, I have 10 things going at one time. You know, like, I'll think of an idea and I'll buy a domain. I own, like, 30 domain names.
That does not shock me, by the way. So, because I have like 6.
Yeah. And the thing is this, it's like, if I had like a lot of money, I would either be very, very rich if I put every idea I have into plan, or I would be broke, you know, like.
Either one. But you keep life exciting.
I do. I mean, I try, and, you know, I love my family. They're great. They've been a big support system, my friends and family. Over the years, you know, we all have bumps that we have to deal with. But,
everybody has it.
I try, you know what? I always say when something knocks me down, I'm like, you know what? There's someone else in a worse place than me. Like,
True.
why would I complain? You know, thank God every
Yeah.
morning I wake up and I face the day. Just be resilient. Like,
Yeah. Wake up every day. I wake up every morning and tell myself, today's going to be an awesome day.
yeah.
Before my brain starts going down the path, because it does. It's a default.
It makes a difference. I mean, life. I mean, unfortunately, life is full of, you know, negativity. You know,
Oh, yeah.
especially in the world with everything that's going on.
Yep.
All these young kids, I feel sorry for them because, you know, we didn't grow up with that. I mean,
No.
in the last
We didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, in the last 25 years, we had to deal with 9/11, wars, and COVID.
I know.
You know, these kids, like, you know, you don't. I mean, the worst thing when I growing up in Italy, I had a cousin who was a few years older than me, and I was like 6, 7 years old, and she would say, you know, tonight there's going to be an earthquake, because that was my biggest fear living in Italy.
Jeez.
And I would go home, cry to my mom, and she just goes, disgraziata, nobody knows when there's going to be an earthquake. Why is she telling you that?
That's
So,
hilarious.
You know.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
But anyway, just so bet on yourself. And if anybody's interested in working with you working with this octopus chick.
Yeah, they could reach me at 917-250-7705. That's my number. I kept my New York number. It was very hard for me to give up my New York license plate.
I know.
But I saved a lot of money back then on car insurance.
But you kept the number.
But I kept the number.
But it's
yes.
your ID. I've had the
Yeah,
same phone
so,
number forever too.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. This has
You're
been
welcome.
great conversation.
It was,
And
pleasure.
everybody, thanks for tuning into the Jersey Buzz. Remember to like and share and even comment on this post, because it's important to believe in yourself and bet on you. Because look at Rose, she did it.
Yes.
Till we see each other again.
Yes.
Bye.